Good afternoon, YouTube. It's me, all the way, George Page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk, coming to you live from Tampa. Yes, folks, I made it. I'm here at Tampa Bay, right here in my motel room. I'm just relaxing a little bit, unwinding some. It's been a good long trip. I'm telling you, folks, next time I think I will go by a plane. But it's an experience. I enjoy this opportunity to come out here, check out the show, and also check out some ladies that are competing in this show. And also, I'm excited. Most definitely, as you know, I said I'm going to be working at the Bad Rap booth. So if you are someone who is interested, check out Bad Rap. We got some new stuff coming out. And also, shout out to Eunice and Jojo. They are also helping out by offering prize money for women's bodybuilding. Also, some nice jackets. So check it out and support. And you can come by the booth and say hello to me, and just, hey, I really appreciate it. So, folks, as you know, a few days ago, the list came out for the Tampa Bay Pro. And as again, I see the numbers for women's bodybuilding is kind of small. But I say this, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. There's some amazing competitors here. I think some ladies that could have jumped in the show, maybe have fewer bodies, but truthfully, it's about, who feels the time they can put in and also the expense of traveling. So, and it's also a master show, so we have a lot of ladies here. So technically, we have at least 11 women's bodybuilders. Maybe a couple could jump over in Masters in Open, but, some competitors don't feel like comfortable doing the Open. But hey, it's opportunity to miss. But the Open is going to be later today. I'm going to go check it out because most definitely I know some ladies who are competing there who I've interviewed, and most definitely my friend Eunice is competing. First up we have is Chris Corey. Chris is already qualified for the Masters Olympia, which is going to be next weekend. She's from Spain, been in competition for long, and this is her backyard because she lives in Florida. I think she lives in Miami, but Tampa. She's done the show before. And now she's qualified for Masters Olympia, and I think she won the top 40 plus last year. She got a qualification at the Chicago Pro, which was about a couple of weeks ago. Next up we have is Lavenia Abados. As you know, Lavenia is a very popular competitor, from Brazil. She's been competing for quite some time, been a two-time Olympian, and this possibly might be her third Olympia. It's an impressive lineup still, but I think there's one person who can possibly be a contender, and that is, we have here one list, the lovely Mrs. Audrey, I've got a name tonight, Palestrip, and she's competing in women's over 45. So, when I do the list, I put everybody, mix them up a little bit. But yeah, but the person I was talking about originally, Hunter Henderson, is competing in the show. And Hunter, she was, she did a couple of shows last year in Chicago, and she got her qualification at the Grand Prix. Impressive young woman. Both of them are both in their 30s. I think about 30. Impressive physiques, great looks to them. I think, truthfully, it's a battle between Hunter and most definitely, I'm going to say, Lavinia. But I hear his lady I become very friendly with. And I'm getting to meet her today, I'm hoping. The lovely Mrs. Janine Lakowski. Janine's been game for quite some time. She's competed at Tampa quite often because she lives in Tampa. This is in the backyard. So she's doing both Masters 40 and also she's competing in the Open class and also the other classes. Next up, we have a lady who she's doing both physique and women's bodybuilding. We have here Mrs. Veronica LaRoche, and she's doing both women's physique in the over 40 and over 50 class, and also she's doing women's bodybuilding in 50 and also over 55. Next up we have is one Miss Tori Meinheim. She's doing both over 45 and also over 50. Next up we have is Barbara Mongin. As you know, Barbara, she's going to be competing next week at the Masters Olympia. She competed at 4. She's top 5 competitor. Last time we saw her was at the Toronto Super Show. And I think she was in the top 3 at that show. That show that, as you remember, Nadia Capasoto won. Pres Physique, I thought she might do another show, but my guess is the focus is the Masters Olympia, which possibly get a qualification for the main Olympia. Next up, we have someone we have not seen in a long time. And that's the lovely Miss Keisha Oliver. And last time we saw her was New York. And, she's not as active as some competitors are, the space of travel and all of that. But it's great to see that she's on this list. It's great to see somebody that's familiar to me. Next up, a lady who I have the pleasure of interviewing, really cool. I can't wait to meet her, lovely Mrs. Christine Ware. And you know, Miss Ware, she's be doing women's 50. And also, no, actually she's doing 50 and 55. No, she's and 55 plus. Christine, I think, you know, she has a pretty physique. She did Chicago. You know, I talked to her, hey, do the Open too. And she feels like she want to compete with people within her age group. But hey, Open is opportunity. You don't have to pay to do Open. You just go in and compete in the show. And we have another lady who had the pleasure on my channel, the lovely Miss Wendy Gronk Wilson. As you know, she was with Physique, but she made a switch to women's bodybuilding this year. And she's going to be competing in women's 50 plus. And a impressive lady. I mean, as you know, she's a coach and a trainer out of Arizona. You know, coming from a very sensitive background. Her story is very amazing, especially growing up as an orphan in Russia, and how she came here and survived cancer. I can't wait to meet her too. And last but not least, we have here in women's bodybuilding is Rania Thompson-Khan. We'll go by her maiden name, Rania Daly, which is not easy to remember. As you know, Ranya's been competing for quite some time. She was doing wellness originally. Made the switch to Physique. She got a qualification for nationals, and she did the USA's just last weekend. And now she's making her bodybuilding debut here at Tampa Bay. Impressive physique, great conditioning, and I think women's physique fits her. Women's bodybuilding fits her, especially. I women tell me that sometimes it's about the size, and sometimes some women have more size for this division to do for physique. You know, just aesthetics and all that. Now, who's not doing the show is last year's champion, Christina Mendoza. You know, Christina took second in Chicago Pro, which got her second qualification for the Olympia. As you remember, you know, actually she got a first qualification in Chicago, but she had to drop out dealing with some issues. And then she got her second qualification here in Tampa. Possibly she might try to do Atlanta, which is going to be the week after next, or might try to just do the Rising now that it's now more of an open show. She lives closer to Phoenix than she does to Atlanta. So that's a possibility. So we'll wait and see. One person who's missing, who's won the show in the past and who's been competing for quite some time is Michaela Acox. You know, Michaela took a step back from bodybuilding. I think she officially has retired because of dealing with issues and medical issues and injuries. And I think that's good. You know, as fans, we hate to see some of these ladies go, but we understand the reason why they're doing it, because it's better for their health. But Michaela's amazing physique, top, you know, level competitor both in the Olympia and also the Rising Phoenix Women's Bodybuilding World Championship. Amazing. So best of luck and all wishes to her. One lady's not doing a show, and she lives in Tampa, is Anastasia Ryder. I had the pleasure of interviewing the lovely Miss Ryder on my channel. She made an announcement she's going to be doing the show, the Dennis James Europa show in Germany, which is going to be interesting. Not a lot of Americans will go out of the country to do a show But, you know, and she's an interesting character. She's a coach and a trainer. I hope she does well. You know, I hope she does well at that show too. There's also other show. There's the Alita show. Maybe she might. I think the Alita show is after or is it before? I'm trying to remember. But you know, but best of luck to her. And one person I was talking to, and I thought she was gonna do the show because she's done it before, is the lovely Maria Monica Vega. But the finance issues is the big problem. Yeah, remember it's cost, because she did Chicago, did pretty good, you know, and this show she's done before in the past. But you know, the cost of traveling all the way to quick cost of Florida is expensive, everything else. So I think she might do the Grand Prix, which is in Anaheim, California, which is close enough, or also the Rising Phoenix, which is also a great opportunity for us. So wish her best of luck. One lovely lady I was hoping to see this show. She had a show a long time ago, and that's my dear friend, Miss Tina S. Williams. Now, Miss Tina, she's right now, she's helping my dear big brother, Mr. Big Keith Williams, recuperate. I wish you all the best of luck to both of them. I think Tina's an amazing person. This will be a great show because you know what? She's been really doing pretty good for herself. She's been turning around pretty big with her placing fourth at this show, and then last year placing fourth at the Grand Prix. Maybe she might do Atlanta, which is a lot closer to her in Kansas, or maybe she might do Rising now that it's now an open show, no longer a show just for anybody who's already qualified for the Olympia and just a few sprinkles of ladies who don't. But I hope she does something because I think she has great potential. Maybe even get a little qualification. Now, here's the list for women's physique. It's a pretty good list. It's not as deep like compared to Chicago, which is over 20 women. It's like about, counting the ladies both in Masters and Open, you have maybe just about 20, you know, because you got quite a few Master competitors. Many Master competitors don't want to do Master because they feel like they want to compete with the much more, you know, young competitors or ones with better genetics. But hey, ladies, y'all still look good. You don't have to pay to do open. You just go ahead and just, hey, do your tickets, see how you well. But first up we have is Elena Alvarez. Now, Ms. Alvarez has been competing for quite some time. She has been a pro since, I think, 2021. She last beat the Chicago Pro. Next up we have is Megan Santana Barbara. And Miss Barbara was originally figure, and now she's going to make her WPD debut. From what I saw on social media, very impressive. I think she fits the standard of women's physique. Next up is last year's champion, returning champion, Zama Benta. Now, Zama, just her, I'm like this, folks, lights out. I've seen the pictures, the videos. Her condition is crazy. I don't see no one beating her. I'm honestly not. I mean, she's going to do the same thing she did last year. She's going to do Tampa, and the week after, next week, is also Texas Pro. So, you know, I wish her best of luck. Next up we have here is Katrina Blackburn. Now, Miss Blackburn is a client of both Oksana and Autumn Perari. Now, she turned pro last year, and she made her debut at Chicago. Right here we have here one Miss Alexandra Blankenship. Now, this will be her pro debut. She turned pro around, I think, 2022. You know, I recently saw a video about her, my man, KL1, to go check his channel, talked about her, and I've been in contact with her, so hoping I might meet her, because like I said, today they're doing the Masters, so I might get the chance to meet some of these ladies. Next up, we have one Miss Kathy Castles, and she's from Australia. Now, you know, this is her, I think, her second show, because there were some couple of shows she was competing in, but she had to drop out, because, you know, again, remember, the cost of coming from Australia to the United States and all the other stuff. But this is going to be her second show. Next up, we have April Kazmeno, and this will be her IFB Pro debut. We have also here the lovely Miss Carrie Gearing, and she's from my home state of North Carolina. We've been in contact a little bit, and maybe I'll get her on for an interview. You know, we might talk a little bit, but then do a full-blown interview maybe sometime down the road. Next up we have is Kimberly Brewski. I'm sorry, I want to hit mix it. Let's call him Kim G. And she's been competing quite some time. She was doing figure, but then made a switch to physique. Physique, I follow her. We've been pretty cool. I might get a chance to talk to her. I hope so. Next up we have here is one Miss Liz Hatt. And please, this is going to be Mrs. Hatt's debut. Next up we have is Taylor Aragi. As you know, Miss Aragi turned pro back in 2023. And then she made her pro debut also at Tampa, and also she was invited to the Rising Phoenix. But this year she's switching from women's bodybuilding to physique. Remember, she was wellness for a while, did women's bodybuilding, and now she switched to physique. Impressive physique, young, I think she has a lot of potential. How well she can do his show is all depending, but like I said again, Zama is going to win the show. I think she can crack the top 5 maybe. Next up we have is my dear friend, Eunice Martinez Kitchen. She's doing women's 55 plus. Great lady, great friend. Shout out to her. Shout out to man David. They talked about me this yesterday on the interview, and I think they're really late. I can't wait to get to see her. I'm also be helping her with her booth. That's why I'm down here, because you know she's my friend. I want to do something for her. Next up, we have here one Miss Stacy Lewis, and she's been pretty busy. I think this is going to be her 3rd show this year. I mean, she's been really active. Next up, we have one Miss Sherry Mack, and this would be her debut. Next up was another lady I had pleasure on my channel, the lovely Mrs. Cynthia Marks. Now, Miss Marks was doing figure for a while, but now she's switching over to women's physique. She's doing women over 55, and I think she's a president physique, and I can't wait to get to see her. Next up we have is Susan Matheson, and she's one of quite a few Olympic qualified competitors. As you know, Susan's been in the game for quite some time, at least over maybe 12 years. And she got her first Olympic qualification last year at Omaha. She cracked, I think, the top 10 at the Olympia, and she's doing this show. And she's also, after this, next week, she's doing the Masters Olympia, because she's already qualified being top 5 competitor. Great physique. My man, David, he loves her. He goes crazy over her. Killer abs. Honestly, she does have great set of abs. Next up we have here is one Miss Natalie Maury, and I think she did quite a few shows this year. She's kind of been a bit busy. Next up, we have the lady also had pleasure on my channel, the lovely Miss Angela Nori. Now, Angela's been in the game quite some time. We last saw her compete at the what was that show? The one that Natalia did. It was, I forgot the name of it, but Impressive lady, great physique, very tall, statuous. I think I'm a fan of Angela. Next up, we have here the lovely Mrs. Oksana Ferrari. Now, Miss Ferrari is going to be doing both Masters and Open at this show. So, her and her husband also competed also together just a couple weeks ago at Chicago. Amazing lady, coach and trainer, mother, wife. Very surprising, great physique. Next up, we have is the young Miss Paula Ranta. As you know, Paula already got a qualification at Chicago, which was just about a couple of weeks ago. And now she's doing this show. As you know, if you sign a contract for a show, you have to do the show, no matter what. And like I said, being 25, hey, this is going to be her 5th show. She did at least 1 overseas, and she did at least 3 here in the States. So that's pretty busy. But at 25, you can do whatever you want. And last we have here one Mrs. Melanie Sullivan. And she's been competing for quite some time. And she's also doing women's over 50 and over 55. Press physique, I think she can do maybe 45 and 40, some of these, but the cost of paying for masters is a lot. So that's why some of these pick the divisions that work for them. Now, one lady I was hoping to do the show, because particularly her husband's competing in the show, is love Miss Daphne Holmes. Now, Miss Daphne, she last did the Chicago Pro, and she did the Ultima. And she competed in the show quite some time in the past. But this year, she's helping her husband, the love Mr. Keith Holmes, the fireman, I call him. As you know, he's doing men's over 50 bodybuilding. So, I want to give him a shout out. Anybody who's been against my channel, I want to give him a shout out. Also, I guess shout out to Alan Ferrari, who's doing men's classic. He's not 40 yet. President Physique, I saw an interview with him and Oksana with David. And he's planning maybe in the future, maybe try to do masters over 40 plus. And maybe they get qualified for the masters together, both him and Oksana. Next up, we have here Natasha Marshall. She just competed at the show about a month ago. Impressive lady, great physique, doing figure. So I always want to give a shout out to any people who's been guests. Also, we have here Mrs. Michelle Fletcher, who's doing women's bikini over 55. I'm a fan of hers. And also we have here the lovely Miss Catherine Vaughn, and she's also doing bikini. And that's actually people with Chicago. Impressive physique, great look, very passionate about bodybuilding. I hope she does well. Now, folks, they're going to do masters today. So you can go onto this site here, which is tvplm.com. You want to watch the master show, it's cool. I'm going to be there because I'm already bought my ticket because the master shows, it's like one. They don't do it like the other open shows where you have the finals and prejudging separately. The masters, they're all together. So I get to see everything all at once. And check it out. And also tomorrow is going to be the open show. Now, I'm not going to watch the prejudging in person because I'm helping my friend Eunice with the booth, but I will, watch the finals. And, it'd be great to see some of these ladies, how they play, how they do. But folks, come check it out. And, I know not everybody can come all the way down to Tampa and spend the money, but hey, the pay-per-views are just cheaper. You can watch it at home, you enjoy yourself, and critique and give your favorites and root for your favorite bodybuilder. But that's what I'm here for, to help a friend and also do a little, smoothing myself. So check out the show tonight, which is going to be at 5 o'clock for the Masters. And then tomorrow morning will be the open shows. And also going to have the other half of it, which is going to end on Friday, which is going to be the men's division and bikini. And then after that, it's over. So, and I'll be gone by Saturday. So, hey, folks, appreciate y'all. Thanks for your support. And check out this show. And pay-per-view, spending these pay-per-view money does help these competitors too. Anyways, man, always your page, aka the Emperor of Female Body Talk. Don't like, subscribe. I'm out.